Let's go live to our senior reporter, Catherine Norris Trent. Catherine, how is this granting of candidate status to Ukraine from the EU being seen there?
Hello there, Jeannie. Well, all eyes here in Ukraine are not only focused on the war, but also on today's European summit. It's very important for people here. They are following this very closely indeed. As you can imagine, it's the headlines and a lot of the Ukrainian press. People we've been speaking to are really hoping that the EU will grant this candidate status today. They're very confident, I have to say, that it will. They say that they feel Ukraine deserves it, that they feel in many ways they are already European, and that this would be another show of support that they want from Europe going forwards. Not only the continued supply of weapons, but they want this symbolic step, this morale boost here. If you ask people what difference it would make to them, then they say that it would just prove that their future path is towards Europe and not towards Russia. And this has been echoed by Ukraine's president, who said it would be like stepping into the light from the darkness. And I think that it would give a lot of people here in this part of Ukraine a lot of hope for the future, even though they know it's going to be a long road going forward. Several people I've spoken to say they don't want to end up in a situation like Turkey or Bosnia, which just has an ongoing candidate status waiting for years or decades to join the EU. They want this to go fast. In fact, the Vice Minister for EU integration here in Ukraine has said she hopes that Ukraine can become an EU member within between 2 and 10 years. So that would be very fast indeed in EU terms. It's difficult really to stress how important this is for people here in terms of the future direction of travel for their country.
Absolutely, Catherine. And I think there's a lot of truth to what you said about giving people there some hope, especially when the fighting has been going on for 4 months tomorrow. What is the situation like with the fighting now, where you are in the south as well as in the east?
Well, here in the city of Odessa, it's just been confirmed that 2 missiles were intercepted by the air defense system in Odessa. We heard some explosions this morning. You can also hear the sound of volunteer fighters continuing to be trained, continuing those practice drills we've seen in the run-up to this war and throughout. And people here in Odessa tell us they're still actively prepared for hostilities, although they think that would come in the form of missile strikes. They say that a land invasion here is now impossible because there are so many mines in the Black Sea here in the port of Odessa that it's very difficult for anyone to arrive via sea. Just a few hours drive down the road in Mykolaiv, that city continues to be pounded by missiles. 7 strikes yesterday, Ukrainian officials reported. And there's a fierce battle going on in the south as well around Kherson. That's a front where Ukrainian forces have been launching a counteroffensive to try and take back territory that Russia seized at the beginning of this war. And they have been gaining some ground. However, it is a very different story in the east of the country. There, Russian forces slowly are advancing. They're managing to take more villages every day, more territory, edging further around the town of Lysychansk. And of course, they're only holding on to a patch of land, that industrial complex in Severodonetsk. And it looks like those last bits of the Luhansk province, still controlled by Ukrainian forces, will soon be surrounded and are getting ever more difficult to defend.
Catherine, thank you for your reporting there. That's our Catherine Norris Trent reporting from Odessa, live for France 24.